AWS cloud. In the AWS cloud, I will create a Linux machine and use to create a instance there, and we'll work on that machine.
Okay, so everyone should have this AWS account.
Yes. I will in the regular
Okay,
session. I will show how to create an instance and each and everything with a step by step. I will explain.
Okay, sure, great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I don't see here Linux session has been covered here. Linux and
Sorry.
In your list. Linux is not there. You see. Linux commands, basic commands.
Yeah, it is there, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry, just at the bottom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, it's fine then. So we'll have a DevOps workshop. Any other doubts, guys? If I miss anything, just inform me. I will add it on that. Okay. So the first tool, that is the version control system, we are using the Git. Okay. So under Git, what are the things we are going to learn here? Okay. Okay. First thing is we will learn the introduction. So under introduction, you'll be understanding what the version control system is and why we are using. So all those kind of stuffs here. Okay. First is the introduction of version control system. Then comes the installation. Okay. In installation part, guys, we will do both in a Windows and Linux. Okay. Okay. We used to do installation in both Windows and as well as in a Linux. Okay. Then creating the local repo. Okay. And then what do you call creating remote repo. Okay. Then configuration. Configuration. Then here comes the most important, guys, passwordless communication between local and remote repo. Okay. Then guys, here you will be having the n number of commands, guys, in a Git. Okay. So all the commands I will explain here. Okay. All the commands and the most important commands here. Okay. Respective Git. Okay. Apart from that, I will explain cherry pick. Okay. So these are all the interview questions, guys. Okay. 100% they will ask what is cherry pick. Okay. Merging. Okay. So in a merging also you'll get two types of merging. One is the normal merging and second one is the rebase. So when we need to use this normal merging and when we need to use the rebase, and what is the difference between normal merging and what is the difference between the rebasing here, and what is the advantage of normal merging and what is the advantage of using rebase of merging here. Okay, you'll come to know in the regular session what we are going to merge here basically. Okay, then git stash. So whenever you go for the interview, guys, okay, so these are all the same commands they are going to ask you. Okay, whatever I'm teaching in my sessions, right, you just be thorough that. Okay, 100% damn sure you'll get a job within 1 or 2 months. I will assure for that. Okay, but I won't provide job placement or something. Okay, but I will assist you how to get the job and all. Okay, and moreover, I will share the interview recordings as well. Okay, I have a number of interview recordings, that is a telephonic interviews with most of the MNCs. Okay, so what kind of questions they used to ask, all those kind of stuff I used to share. Okay, at the meantime, I will be sharing the resumes also. Okay, all of my students and somebody's resumes I have on DevOps, I will share it to you at the end of the session, guys. Okay, not now, at the end of the session, because if I provide now, then those people will get escape. Okay, so hence I am not providing it initially. At the end of the sessions we used to share, okay, to your Google Drive. It is from my prospect, it is from my side. Okay, just a
Okay, sir.
second, guys, I forgot something. Yes. Some of them I forgot here. Okay, then comes the git squash. Okay, then what else? Merge conflicts. Okay, so what is the merge conflicts and what we needs to, these are every day they used to ask this. Okay, what is the merge conflicts, and how to resolve this merge conflicts in the real time. Okay, so all these things. Then what else? I want to recall, guys. Let's add one more time, I mean later on if I come to know. Okay, then comes the Maven. So that is our build tool. Okay, so here also, first what we will do, first we will do the introduction. So what the Maven is and why we need to use the Maven and what is the advantage. Okay, again we used to do the what do you call, installation in Windows as well as in Linux machine. Okay, and here you will get the what do you call, goals. Okay, here we'll be finding the 5 goals here. Okay, so what are the goals and when we need to use those goals. Okay, so those things. Then configuration. Okay, in a configuration, so in a Maven artifact, basically as I told you, it is to create the artifacts, or in other way we can say that using this Maven we are building the, we are making the raw source code as an executable code. Okay, at that point of time we should have some dependency. Okay, so let's say I'm going to build a one application, so for that I require a Java version of 1.16 or something. Okay, so that dependency has to be downloaded, right? So how to download that dependency and from where we have to download that, right? So these questions arises. Okay, so those configurations we need to do in our Maven applications. Okay, so such configurations with an example I will show you on that. Then what else? Then comes the repositories. So basically here you'll be having the repository repo. Okay, repo in the sense here we'll having the 3 kind of repositories. One is the local repository, another one is the remote repository. Sorry, yeah, so here we'll be having the 3 kinds of local repositories. One is local repository, not this git local repository, guys. In the Maven you'll be finding the other repositories here. Okay, that is a local repository, remote repository, and one more uh, remote repository, local, remote, and Maven central repository. Okay, so since Maven is developed by the Apache, okay, so those are the vendors. Okay, so those Apache vendors only, they have own what do you call, repository here. Okay, let me show you Apache or Maven central repository. So this is a one repository, guys. It is not open. Might be my network issue, guys. Okay, Yeah, so this is the Maven central repository, guys. Okay, so let's say in this one you require some Java dependency, so search for Java. Okay, so under Java you will be finding 34,496 results. Okay, so for that, let's say you require a Selenium Java for your application. Okay, so click on this and check the usages also. Okay, so click on the Selenium Java. Okay, and here you can see what kind of what is the version number you guys require for your application. Okay, so just select that thing. Okay, 4.x alpha beta something will be there, so just select this thing. Okay, you will get the artifacts automatically. So this is what the code, it will give automatically. Yes, we no need to write this code. Okay, so this code will automatically generates. Okay, so just copy and paste it in your application. Okay, so this dependency will automatically downloads from this Maven central repository, but this is not the right way, guys. Okay, usually it should not connect to the Maven central repository because it is open source. That means anybody can access this application here. Okay, and there is a chances of getting the virus and vulnerabilities, right? Okay, so to overcome this issue, we will be having our own private repository. Okay, and how to configure the private repositories and all, you'll come to know in our regular sessions. Sorry. Working with repo. Okay, then working with Maven project. Okay, we'll be working on some project days. I used to have a one dummy project and another one is the real-time project. Okay, we'll be working on both the projects. Okay, then comes our third tool, that is a Sonar cube. So why we are using this Sonar cube? Again, in the Sonar cube, we will do the installation both in installation and introduction in a Sonar cube. Okay, so why we are using Sonar cube? Well, you already know, right? In order to check the accuracy of the source code. Okay, and this installation we will do it in a Windows as well as in a Linux case. And one more thing, guys, here most of the tools what we are using, right, it is of open source only. That means we no need to purchase a license here. Okay, then working with Sonar cube. Okay, and here this tool is mainly used for generating the report, guys. Apart from that, this tool is not doing anything extra. Okay, it simply generates a one report. Okay, then comes the fourth tool. Sorry. Okay, fourth tool, that is our Nexus. So why we are using Nexus, guys? Any idea? So whoever attended my demo session, they will be knowing this. So Nexus is used for artifact repository. In order to keep backup of our artifacts, we are using this Nexus repository here. Okay, and this Nexus repository we will do the configuration here. Okay, basically here we will create a, here also you will be finding the repository, guys. Okay, so this repository is different here. Okay, not like Apache Maven or Git repository. So this is another repository in order to store our artifacts. Okay, then configuration here. So how to do the configuration with configuration of Nexus and as well as configuration with Maven. So why with Maven means, because using Maven only we are pushing the artifacts to our Nexus repository. That is our private repository. Okay, and one more thing. So Nexus also acts as private repository. Okay, so what it indicates, Nexus also acts as private repository. So as I told you, in the Maven you will be finding the three repos. Okay, one is the local, another one is the Maven central repository, third one is the private repository, right? So this is what the private repository. Nexus also acts as a private repository, guys. Okay, so for this also we need to do some configuration. I will explain on how to do the configuration, how to publish the artifacts to a private repository, and how to download those artifacts from a private repository. So all this kind of stuff, guys. Okay, then comes our next tool. So guys, anything which I left in these topics, just inform me, I will add on that. Okay, so as per my knowledge, I used to explain each and everything. Okay, if I left by mistakenly, okay, I will take the session on that one also. Okay, then comes our Jenkins, that is our CI tool. In the CI tool also we will do the installation in okay, installation will do in Linux as well as in Windows. So for all the tools we'll do installation, guys, in Linux and Windows. One second, guys. Okay, then comes the what do you call, creating a jobs, okay, in a freestyle. Okay, creating the jobs in a freestyle and creating the job with a groovy script. Okay, so here we used to have a two options, guys. One is we can create the jobs in a what do you call, freestyle, that is called as a using GUI method. Okay, but that is not a recommended way. Okay, we need to create a job in a scripted one. Okay, so that script is called as a groovy script, and here we will teach the how to create the script and all. It is very easy only, don't hesitate in order to write the script. Okay, I will teach you from the scratch how to create the jobs using groovy script. Okay, this is most important. Then comes the triggering the job. Okay, triggering the job automatically. That means, so as I told you, in Jenkins we used to create a job. Okay, in order to run the job we need to run, right? Okay, but that is also not required. Okay, in Jenkins you'll be having the n number of options in order to run this jobs automatically. Let's say you'll be having the webhooks is there, build periodically is there, Policium is it, such kind of any number of tools is there. I mean, not a tools, it's just the options here. Okay, so I will explain with the real time how we are configuring all those kind of things. Okay, and previously what are the tools I have explained in the above, right? So all these things, all the tools we will integrate with our Jenkins. Okay, installing plugins. Okay, so what we installing plugins here? So basically, so Jenkins requires a plugin here. Okay, by default it will be having some configuration. Okay, so that configuration, it doesn't looks good. Okay, so what we will do, we will install an extra plugin. So using the additional plugins, it will give the enhancer feature for our tools here. Okay, hence we used to download the plugin and we used to configure that plugins. Okay, and configuring the DevOps tools. Okay, with the configuring the DevOps tools with CI tool, that is our Jenkins, guys. Okay, like what all the things I mentioned above, right? That is a Gate, Nexus, Sonar, Maven, all these kind of things. Okay, we will configure it with the Jenkins, and we used to create a job. Okay, and at the end of our session, we will create a CI/CD job. Okay, with freestyle and groovy script. Okay, CI/CD job with freestyle and groovy script. Both we wish to do. Okay, then anything. Okay, most important, guys, that is the master and slave configuration. This is most important, guys. Whenever you go for the interview, right? So this question will 100% they will ask. Okay, master and slave configuration, and why we need to use and when we need to use this master slave configuration. Okay, then email notification, email, or else sending the, or else you can just say notification. Okay, so let's say if your build is success, build in the sense if your job is success or if your job is failure. Okay, so it has to be informed, right, our end users or our supporting team members, right? Okay, so for that what we will do, this Jenkins will also send the notification. Okay, but it is not default, we need to do some configuration for that. Okay, so that notification also we will do. Okay, then comes the security. Okay, because in a not Jenkins only you will be doing all the tasks, right? If we give the all the permissions, okay, to our normal user, so he may misuse those such kind of say what do you call activities, right? So to overcome that issue, what we will do, we will use some configuration here, okay, in order to avoid such issues. Okay, so how we used to configure secure your Jenkins and all those kind of things. Okay, then okay, then multi-branch pipeline administration. Okay, multi-branch pipelines case. Okay, so as I told you, in a Jenkins, sorry, in a Git we will be having the n number of branches. Okay, so by default you'll be finding the master branch. Okay, so that master branch we will not give access to other what do you call developers or somebody else. Okay, so it will be mainly for the executable code here. Okay, so under such issues, what we will do, we used to create a separate branch for that. Okay, for our test engineers or for our developers. Okay, so those developers will be working on those branch. Okay, and whenever we want to trigger a job for this other such kind of other branches, what we will do is we will use the multi-branch pipeline. Okay, so what this multi-branch pipeline will do is it will trigger a job for all the branches. Okay, in a pipeline. Then comes administration. Okay, administration in a sense how you used to configure your Jenkins administration part, security, notification, each and everything. Okay, in the admin part, that is creating a users, how you used to give the permissions to the users, so such kind of things. Then I think okay, okay, then comes the Ansible. Randomly I'm writing this. Okay, under Ansible we will do installation, sorry, we will do introduction here. So what is the Ansible and why it is using, okay, and what is the difference between Chef and Puppet, okay, and what is the advantages of using the Ansible over Chef or Puppet, okay, all those kind of things. It will come in a introduction part. Then we will do the installation. Okay, so in the installation we can, it is dedicatedly for the Linux server base. Okay, so it is dedicatedly for the Linux servers. We can able to push us the code if we have a Windows machines also. Okay, so if you are using the Linux machine, you will be, it will be connecting using the SSH. Okay, if you have the Windows machine, it will connect using the RDP, that is a remote desktop. Okay, so such kind of configurations we used to do in the Ansible. Okay, but installation mainly we will do in the Linux box. Then comes writing the playbooks, or else, yeah, playbooks. Okay, how to write the playbooks, okay, from a scratch I used to explain, guys, here. Okay, then handlers plus, okay, then what else, okay, roles. Okay, handlers, what is the roles. Okay, then what else, anything which I left, guys? So under playbook I will explain each and everything. Okay, handlers, roles, one more thing I forgot. That's roads. Let me add it later on, guys. Okay. So these are all about the Docker. So why we are using Docker, guys? For containerization tool. Okay. So under Docker, first what we will do, we will do the introduction. So what Docker is and why we are using the Docker. So all those kind of things. Then we will do the installation of Docker. Okay. We can do it anywhere, guys. Either it is in a Windows or in a Linux. Okay. And one more thing. So whenever you download the Docker, right, for Windows machine, automatically the Kubernetes will also get download for that. Okay, in a Windows 10, not in a Windows 7. Okay, above Windows 10. Okay, then writing the Docker file. Okay, so why we used to write the Docker file? Using Docker file only, we used to create the Docker image. Okay, so from Docker image, we used to create a Docker containers. So what is this file? Docker image, Docker containers? You will come to know in the regular sessions, guys. Okay, it is just a workshop. Then keywords. So what is the keywords here? Keywords in the sense how to write the Docker file. So basically it will be having the some keywords, that is a copy command. So such kind of some commands is there. Using that copy commands, we can able to write the Docker file. Okay. Then creating the first image from your Docker file. From, as I told you, we used to create a Docker file, right? So from Docker file, we used to create a Docker. We used to create a Docker containers. Okay, so we'll show how to write a Docker file, how to write a Docker containers and all. Okay, then creating the image. So that is our Docker image. So using Docker image only, what we will do, we will create a Docker container. So in the Docker containers, we will do how to interact with your Docker containers. So all those kind of things. Then running the container. How to run your container? That means how we want to run it. That is in an interactive mode or in a detached mode. How we want to run those kind of containers here. Okay, and how to ship the container here. Shipping in the sense from one environment to another environment. Then Docker volumes here. So as we are going to create a Docker containers, and we have to create the volumes also, right, in order to store the data. Okay, since I mean if you simply create the Docker containers and your data is not safe, then what the Docker containers we are creating, it is of waste, right? So in order to overcome that issue, we will create the Docker volumes, and we used to attach those Docker volumes to your Docker containers. And creating the container. Okay, creating the container from the, sorry, creating the image from the running container. That means, so let's say you are having the one container here, okay, and you have developed one application and you wants to give that container to your one of your colleague in order to test that. Okay, so how you used to do that? Okay, we need to save that one. Okay, and that environment has to be shipped from one machine to another machine. Okay, how we used to do that? Okay, so such kind of activities we will do in a Docker. Okay, so all these things we will do it in a real time. Whatever the things we used to do in a real time, right, the same things I used to explain in my sessions, guys. Okay, then comes the customizing the Docker image using multi-stage. So that means why we are using, so as I told you, the Docker containers will be having the very less size. Okay, but still there is a one more option is called as a multi-stage Docker. Okay, using multi-stage Docker, we can reduce the size of these Docker containers very less, guys. Okay, it will be in terms of KB only, that is a 10 KB or 20 KB. Okay, can you imagine, guys, 10 KB or 20 KB? Basically, if you check your machine, it will be having the 1 TB of hard disk, okay, 16 GB of RAM and all those kind of things, right? So if you are using the multi-stage Docker, your Docker one single container will be having the 10 to 20 KB only. Okay, that we can achieve using the multi-stage Docker. Then comes the Docker Compose. So why we need to use the Docker Compose? So if you are using the Docker, only single container we can be able to create. Okay, So what is the advantage of using the Docker Compose is we can able to create the multiple containers. Okay, if you want to start the multiple containers, you can use the Docker Compose. Okay, multiple containers in the sense, guys, you will be having one application for your application. Let's say you want a database also. Okay, in order to create it in a single shot, we are using the Docker Compose. Using Docker Compose, we can able to create the multiple containers. Then comes the Docker Swarm. So why we are using this Docker Swarm here? So Docker Swarm is mainly used for the auto scaling or for the orchestration tool. Okay, so especially it is used in order to create the cluster. We are using the Docker Swarm. Okay, and with an examples we used to explain all these things, guys. So any doubts here? So this is all about the Docker. Then AWS Cloud. Okay, Kubernetes I told you, right? So under Kubernetes, okay, under Kubernetes we are teaching all these things, guys. So Kubernetes, what is the Kubernetes and why we need to use this Kubernetes? Okay, so it is basically just an upgradation of the not upgradation. In order to learn the Kubernetes, guys, you should have a knowledge on a Docker, because that is a prerequisites in order to learn the Kubernetes. Okay, then comes the architecture of the Kubernetes. Okay, because if you understand the what do you call Kubernetes architecture, right, then you can do all the activities and it will be very easy to understand if you know the architecture. Okay, then we will do the installation in a Linux box. Okay, so here it will be, we will be doing the three type of installation, guys. One is with the kubeadm. Okay, so that is used mainly for the on-premises servers. Okay, and we can use the minikube also. If you have any what do you call Linux machine or MacBook, okay, you can use the minikube in order to create the Kubernetes. Okay, and if you have a AWS cloud, okay, in order to create a cluster, you will be having an option called as a kops. Okay, using kops we can able to create a cluster. Okay, so all these installations I used to do. Okay, the real time. Then comes the pods. So it is a one utility in Kubernetes. So pods in the sense, here in the Docker containers, guys, we will be creating a single container. Okay, so here what we will be having the pods. So pod in the sense, you'll be having the multiple containers. So multiple containers will be combined together is called as a pods, guys. Okay, then comes the deployment. So deployment in the sense, we used to write the deployment file, how your container should be, what is the image it has to use, and from where it has to download that image. Okay, image is in your Docker content, Docker image. Okay, so when we do the deployment, so what are the services it has to run, right? So once you deploy your web application, it has to be accessed, right? So if you want to access also, again we need to create a service. Unless until you create a service, it doesn't works, right? So we used to create a service. How to create the service, how to write the YAML files. So basically here we'll be writing the YAML files, guys. Okay, it is very easy only, and I used to teach. Okay, okay, and for that you can refer the official documentation from the kubernetes.io. Then what else, guys? Yes, so this is about the Apache Tomcat. So for deployment purpose we are using Tomcat. Okay, under Tomcat these are all the topics which we are going to learn. Okay, so introduction about the Tomcat, how to do the installation. Okay, deploying our artifacts automatically, since it is a web-based application, right? We used to deploy artifacts and we need to up our application. Okay, and troubleshooting the issues, all those kind of things. Okay, it comes under Tomcat. Sorry, I'm Tomcat applications. Okay, then deploying the applications, how we used to deploy, that is a manual one. Okay, then how to automatically we used to deploy everything, guys. Okay, and all these tools what I mentioned right now here, so everything will, okay, we used to do all these activities automatically, not manually, guys. Okay, we used to configure all these tools from a scratch. Okay, and we'll do the demonstration. Okay, and at the end of our session we will be doing the CI/CD process from starting from git to till deployment. That is our tomcat or wildfly, guys. Okay, so that is our 10th tool, that is a wildfly. So under wildfly also we will learn all these things. Okay, so anything else? Sonar cube I already added. Nexus, Sonar cube, yeah. So some of the, okay, understanding the dashboard reports, okay, rule set, yeah. So these are important. Rule set, quality profiles, and quality gates. That I forgot. Sonar cube, where is Sonar cube? Sonar cube, Sonar cube. Yeah, here we used to write the uh, rule sets. Okay, rule sets. That means what are the rules it has to use in order to generate the reports. So the such rules. Then quality, QUALITY, quality profiles. Okay, then quality gates, send the PDF content. Sure, quality gates here. Okay, so all these things, guys. So if I left anything, just let me know. I will add those things also. Okay. So it is having a huge syllabus, guys. Along with that, we will be working on a AWS cloud. Okay. Yeah, I will send the PDF document. Okay. To Durgasoft, they will share.
Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
We'll send the PDF document. PDF document.
Yeah, sure. I will inform Durgasoft to share the PDF document. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anything else, guys? Any doubts? And Linux, I forgot. Yeah. Yes. Someone was asking something.
Hello.
Sir,
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes, guys. He was asking something. Sorry, guys. Please don't mind. I'm unable to hear. Can you put it in the chat box? Your voice is not clear, Budappa. Sorry.
Lab installation. What can?
Yeah, for lab working and all, we will be creating the AWS instance. Okay, let me show you. We'll be working on a AWS. So just click on, this is the official website. So this is my instance, guys. You guys needs to create on your own. Okay, but I will show you how to create the instances and everything. Okay, so this is what the AWS dashboard. Okay, and be careful when we are using this AWS, because if you misuse this one, you will get charges applied. Guys, some background noise is coming. Sorry. Okay, in order to create a new instance, guys, what you need to do is just go to this official website. There is a, let me put it in a chat box also. Okay, that is the link. Just go to that link. Okay, and create a sign up here. Okay, log back in, sign into console. Okay, click on create new AWS account. Okay, here we need to provide your normal how you used to create any of the account, right? Like Gmail or Facebook or anything, anywhere. Okay, so here also same thing, but here they used to ask the credit card details, guys. Okay, or a debit card details. Make sure you are using the some dummy account. Okay, if you, I mean, if unexpectedly if you forgot to close some instances or something, they used to put a charges for that. Okay, it is free up to some extent. Okay, if you go above that, the charges applies here. Okay, in the regular session I will show you how to create an instance and all. Okay, yes guys, any other doubts? Any doubts, guys? Okay, Alok, no, thank you, Alok. It's fine. Okay, any doubts, guys? If no doubts, we'll wind up then. So about the period to complete the course. The period is approximately around 2 to 2.5 months, Sayed. Yeah, guys, if you are okay, we can wind up here.
We can wind up.
Okay, guys, fine then. If no doubts, then we'll wind up. Okay, everybody is saying no. Okay. Okay, guys, then bye. And regular session starts from Monday onwards, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, bye then.